Last week we saw Margaret hunting 2 wild boars. In this episode, Margaret and Christie decided to go for a short afternoon walk along the river. We revisit the highlights of the series, we chat to pest management professional Matt Partridge and share some of our less professional moments.
Right, so just for a bit of change of scenery, we've decided to come for a hunt along the riverbank. So obviously, being the river, there's always water, and it'll always be a good water source for some critters getting about. As well, there's always some good vegetation and cover, and this time of the afternoon the sand is starting to cool down, so we might find some pigs nestled up in their little burrows or little beds. Unfortunately it's quite crunchy here, a lot of fallen leaves, which is making moving through here difficult, but we're certainly hoping to come across something.
I'm positive we're going to find something this afternoon.
And we're going to keep an eye out for crocodiles. This is saltwater croc country, so there have been known to be some big boys getting about, so we'll be quite vigilant about that.
Yeah. Okay, let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
The afternoon was hot and the river was close to the station homestead, so it was perfect to hunt late in the day when daylight was limited. It's an area that Christie had hunted a lot in the wet season with good success. However, in the dry summer months, hunting can be a challenge, as the dry leaves are noisy underfoot. Margaret stopped and pointed out that she had heard some pigs not far away. The bush was quite dense, and Margaret and Christie could not see them. Margaret got her rifle ready, knowing that she could stumble upon them at any minute. She looked through her scope, but it was too thick to see anything. There was lots of wildlife around, such as birds and wallabies, that could easily spook the pigs. Margaret came to where she thought she'd heard the noises. They waited for a few moments to see if they could still hear them. There were little grunts close by, so they walked quietly, coming up over a crest. Margaret spotted the rear end of a large-bodied boar. They were very close, so Margaret knew she had to take the shot or she would lose him. The shot was perfect. The pig dropped on the spot and was soon still.
Well, Margaret, another great stalk and another great result. So we're actually hunting in a location that's more renowned for me for seeing families of pigs, so a lot of sows and young ones, but we do get the odd boar come through, and as you can see we have a young boar here. He was hanging out on his own, which was quite unique to see in this particular spot. So, great hunt.
No,
Tell
thanks.
us about it.
Well, we've been walking next to this river for quite a while now, and all we could see was kangaroos all over us, around us, and I was starting to get frustrated because we work so hard and try to walk very softly. The dry leaves are very crunchy, so we need to be very careful. And every time I thought I heard something, and then it was a kangaroo, and so it was starting to get very warm, and suddenly we heard the pigs, and but we couldn't see the pigs. But we were the only thing we know is we are very close. The pigs are very close to us. So the stalk starting to get a little bit intense, and we can hear them, but it's too bushy, and suddenly they was, and could only there's just that one chance, and I took it, and luckily for me it was a deadly shot.
Yeah, very good
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
So this young boar here is actually in quite good condition for pigs around here. Although his tusks are only small, being a young one, his body is actually quite large.
Yes.
for the pigs around here. So he's actually looking quite well. So the pigs here do generally tend to be not so big in size, just because of the harsh conditions, and often they are omnivores. So not only do they eat vegetation, but they also will eat carcasses, and we'll often see them feeding on dead cows and chewing on the leather. So so they don't get real big, but this one's quite a fine specimen.
Yeah, he's really big. He's got a very big, huge body on him. But I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy.
Very, very well deserved.
Yeah, we work very hard for this one.
That's right.
And it works to do the stalk barefoot.
Yeah. Definitely.
Series 2 has been quite a journey. Sleeping soundly in the sand. They were at close range, so Margaret put the rifle up for a shoulder shot. The light was beginning to get poor, and the girls feared that he would soon walk into thicker bush as he approached the creek line and be lost forever. Margaret wasted no time in using this opportunity to close the gap, and by the time he appeared broadside from the left side of the ant mound, Margaret had set herself up ready to take the shot. Not just a physical journey, but a journey of learning and discovery and pushing through adversity. Amongst our biggest challenge was to learn how to film our own hunts. Finally, she was able to take her shot, and the pig was finally stopped in its tracks. Through her scope, not sure if it was a wild dog or a fox. It was a fox. She took cover behind a tree and waited for the pigs to move into her sight. Perfect shot. The pig dropped in its tracks. In this case, it was a little more of a covert operation, as Christie needed to get close to be successful on such small and quick targets. She moved in closer, onto another larger rock, perfect for a lean. Donna was now into 130 metres, the perfect distance to be able to take a good clean shot. There was a slight breeze blowing, and the grass was swaying from side to side. Donna had her trusty 308 and just waited for the perfect moment to squeeze the trigger. Despite our inferior equipment and lack of experience, we were soon expert professionals behind the camera. Margaret needed to sit and wait patiently until the wallabies moved before she could take her shot. but at the risk that the pig could be spooked at any moment. She waited for the perfect opportunity. The moment they moved, she took the shot. And it was a perfect shot. She found herself a lean against a tree, but had to act quickly because a bunch of kangaroos were on their way over. The moment the fox stood still for a moment, she took the shot from 125 metres. And he dropped on the spot.
Hey Margaret, you've been in Australia for nearly a month now, and so you've had a taste of hunting. So we'd just like you to let us know, how does that compare to hunting in South Africa?
Well, Donna, as a professional hunter and outfitter back in South Africa, and to be able to hunt on hunting farms with more than 45 different species to hunt. So hunting is not easy, and it's not supposed to be easy. But to hunt in Australia with no facilities, trackers or skinners makes it a bit harder. With very less animals to choose from, and it really makes it hard. In this heat, you really have to work very hard for your animal. But Donna, I like to say to be part of such a big, amazing experience, to learn from each other's hunting culture, encourage me to strive higher and to make a difference where it counts.
Well, we're certainly hunting in the most challenging time of the year, coming into the hotter months of summer. But also another reason, I suppose, that the hunting is quite difficult is the animals that we're hunting are actually classified as pests. So conservation hunters are actually encouraged to protect the natural and agricultural environment by reducing the numbers as best we can in order to control their numbers.
So that shows it's a good sign that conservation hunters are doing a good job and trying to help the farmers out to keep those pest numbers down.
Exactly. Yeah, so we're actually fortunate to have Matt Partridge here with us today. So Matt is Donna's husband and father to her 2.5 children, and also Donna's #1 fan. So you'll get to see Matt a little later on in the bloopers section, I'm sure. But welcome, Matt. It's great to have you along.
Well, Matt and Donna have always remained active hunters. Even through raising 2 beautiful daughters. So Donna, as a mother, asking another mother, what are the benefits of raising your children in a hunting environment?
I think it's a really important achievement to have your children in the outdoors and to experience nature at its best. And it's not a lot about the kill or the hunt, it's learning about the feral pests and what they're doing to the farming communities and how to keep them under control, and also where their meat comes from.
Yeah.
So there's so many aspects that are involved in hunting that like challenging and the experience that it grows with them and gets it to encourage them to love the outdoors.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's definitely preserving our hunting culture. So we're bringing up our children to love the outdoors, and as hunters, you know, we're the ones who are actually in the environment, really experiencing it, not just, you know, through a magazine or, you know, a
On
computer
TV.
screen or through television. So we have the biggest vested interest in protecting it for future generations. So I think it's a great job you guys are doing, keeping hunting culture in the family.
Yeah.
So Matt, you've been a professional hunter for nearly your whole life, and you and Donna have also hunted in South Africa and also in America. So what do you think makes the Australian hunting culture so unique?
Well, the Australian hunting culture is totally different to both end countries because all our animals are feral. which are vermin, all introduced to Australia. They're no natural species. They carry diseases that can affect our native animals, and also goes right down into diseases that can be contracted to humans and other livestock. But yeah, it's totally different as far as in Australia. There's no animal. The animals aren't an income as far as that. They're a pest for the farmers. Yeah.
So hunting's less of an industry as such.
Yeah,
Over here it's more of a necessity to a lot of people.
Yeah, there are a few industries that were here in Australia, and they still are, but they're not booming at the moment. The kangaroo industry, which they're our native animals, you need tags and hunting permits to actually hunt them, and that you sell them for human consumption. They go overseas and everywhere into the cities and for their meat. The feral pigs, well, they were in a market as well for human consumption, but most of the other species, like your foxes, rabbits, there is an industry for some rabbits, but it's not very big. But your foxes, your wild dogs, your horses, your camels, all them sorts of things. There are little industries, but it's not a massive hunting industry as far as Africa, where it's an income for the farmers. Some farmers do have paid people to come on, and then they pay to shoot animals, but it's nowhere near a livelihood as it is in Africa.
No, it's for sure. There's a big difference between Australian hunting and South Africa hunting.
Yeah. And our species aren't all congregated in one area. As you've seen, you've been to Cape York.
Yeah.
You know, you've got different species up there, your pigs, your rooster deer, that sort of thing. Whereas down here, where you're actually hunting, you might have goats in one area, and then you might be 5 hours to another spot, and you'll have pigs and deer and that sort of thing. And then other areas only have foxes and wild dogs and rabbits. So they're not everywhere, but the spread of them they're getting worse.
But don't you classify the flies as a feral animal? Because
They're quite a pest, yeah.
they are really quite a pest.
Yeah,
They're
well, they are.
all
They're
over.
a pest, not just for us when we're hunting, but the farmers as well, as for the sheep and livestock.
Yes, I think that's been Margaret's biggest challenge. in
The
Australia.
flies. well, I experienced a few flies in my mouth, and on my one stalk, there's a fly in my mouth. I need to stop just to take out the fly before I swallow it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the flies it's a big problem.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as being to Africa hunting, everything's 5-star. There's an actual hunting industry, and it's farmers' income, and that's the only income they have.
Yeah.
Whereas here in Australia, the animals, they're not an income. They're more decrease
Yes.
they devalue people's properties and cause a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Feral pigs, for example, they can actually destroy thousands of dollars worth of farmers' crops each night. That can be just in one night.
Yeah. No, but thank you for all the information, and you've been teaching me a lot, and I'm just really thankful for everything. And my whole experience in Australia was really awesome. I just got the problem with the flies, but thank you for everything, for your hospitality and making me feel at home. It's much appreciated, and I'll be back.
We'll be back. It's been great to have you.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Donna. Thanks, Christy. Thanks, Matt.
Well, once we learned a few important points. And of course, the respect and affection we gave each other. Most importantly, the great Aussie salute. But we got through all the adversities with a little Aussie humour. Margaret learnt a lot about Aussie culture and the language in her time here. Christy, Donna and Margaret, thank you for following us on our adventures in the Great Southern Land. Don't forget to check out and like our Facebook page to keep up to date with our future series. In particular, keep an eye out when Margaret hits Aussie shores again later this year for our buffalo hunt with Australian outfitters. So we leave you with Margaret's favourite Aussie saying. See ya!